Child. Remote learning with a damn third grader.
Just erase what you want.
No. Continue. I'm gonna tell your father that you acting up now.
Oh, okay.
Stop. Finish the last sentence so you'll be done and you don't have to get back on here until 1:35.
You have a headache? Mommy! What is wrong? Mommy? What is wrong? Why you laughing like this? Hey! Hi.
Leave the B. What is that?
I meant to write the D.
Alright. First of all, before you start that, you have to close the quotation marks, right? And the period. End of sentence. Now the last one.
New day period.
Stop.
I'm just saying the new day period.
Stop. Stop it. Write it. What are you doing?
New day period. Okay, fine. Just erase what you want.
No. Continue. I'm gonna tell your father that you acting up now.
Oh, okay.
Stop. Finish the last sentence so you'll be done and you don't have to get back on here until 1:35. Jason, space it out. That's another word. B-O, lowercase o, D-O, lowercase o. Next word, Jason, move on.
I don't like to mess up.
I don't like the way you're writing, but move on. Move on, Jason.
Okay.
You got 2 more characters to write, Jason. Get it done. You don't know exactly. You don't know everything.
I do know everything.
No, you don't.
To do. The only thing I don't know.
Look, Jason. Welcome to It's Fire Zone. It's been a long time since I've recorded anything, but I have been thinking about restarting and being more consistent this time around. And I have a whole bunch of different topics to talk about: parenting, motherhood, fitness, you know, my fitness journey after I have my second kid. We'll get into another time. Lifestyle, and just my world, my zone. Ooh, child. Remote learning with a damn third grader. So I had to write down a lot of shit because I wanted to touch base. This is the first time I'm actually homeschooling like this. My son, when I had him, he was home with me for 3 years. You know, from birth to daycare. So it was a different time. And then we put him in daycare when I was comfortable that he can speak and everything, and I was fine. But actual academics and schooling, this is the first time I'm challenging this. And to be pregnant, I am 28 weeks today. Today's Thursday, the 5th, November 5th. And oh my gosh, I am sick. Like if it was the first week of pregnancy, 6 weeks, 7 weeks sick. I was like that with him, my first son. I'm like that now, and 8 years later, I'm tired. Remote learning with the third grader, it sucks. The thing is, my patience is zero. Is at negative 0.0000000. Now, you have kids that you can leave them alone, they can do their work. And you have the kids that need to have someone there to make sure they're not playing around on their games, not on their phones, or whatever the case may be. Thankfully, I'm able to stay home for my job because I'm pregnant and because of the coronavirus. I graduated. I have a bachelor's. And his father got a master's, so I thought I was done with school, you know. So starting this all over again is like, a pain in the ass. And there's a lot of things too that I forgot because we don't use it in our daily lives. I guess we don't use it. This shit, I'm like, you're not gonna use this in real life. I don't tell him that though, but I'm like, this is bullshit. And also the biggest thing too with math, they don't teach them math the way we were taught. But I always remember growing up, the math teachers would say, you know, not everyone learns the same way. You can't put everybody in a box. Everybody don't get the same formula. It's different formulas. And as long as you get the right answer and you show your work and how you understand it, that's fine. Now with this Common Core shit here they got in New York, it's like, I'll be looking at this thing like, okay, 1 + 1 is 2. Why you got 59 steps in between that? I'm home with him so I can see how a lot of kids are going to fall behind. When he logs on, literally the live sessions are about 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes long. She does like a lesson, shows a few examples, like we're saying math class, and you log off and you have independent work. You're learning multiplication and division. Okay, you leave them there to do independent work. They're not going to get it immediately, especially the wording. You're giving them word problems, so they have to read the words. Sometimes they don't even know the words that they're reading, so they're like, that alone would just mess up their understanding of how to do the problem. And they're not in class, you know, long enough to say, well, you know, teacher, I need help. So luckily I'm home to sit with him and go over it multiple times and read it out, break down the problem out, because he's learning arrays, tape diagrams, number bonds, commutative property. Every other day they're learning something new. So it's like, can he retain what he learned yesterday? You're moving on to something else. So it's a lot. Like, I am accustomed to my timetables. I have a sheet I'll show broken down, like your 1 time, 2 time, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 timetables. In class, they're showing them a box from 1 to 100. So I'm like, what the hell is that? Like, oh, skip counting. I was like, what? Skip counting. The box is just from number 1 to 100. Why don't you give them the different timetables so it can be broken up, so they know, all right, this is the 2 timetables, 3 timetables, 4 timetables, 5 timetables. Let me learn them. That's how I learned. This card with just a 1 to 100, I was like, Jason, try that out. I'm gonna show you how I learned, okay? And it's been working for him. The negatives about the homeschooling and the hybrid sessions are, you know, I feel bad for parents that have multiple kids, especially school age kids that have different login times, because I have one and I gotta keep up. Like, I have to make sure we log back in at the right time. If we're doing independent work, I'm like, oh shoot, we got 5 minutes, you gotta log back in. So that have to be stressful. I mean, if you have junior high school kids, high school kids, it's easier, they're independent. But elementary school kids, like 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, you know, some kids, like I said, don't learn as quickly as others. You have to be on them, you know, especially when it comes to even writing. They're learning how to write. In 1 week, he had to write a story, a narrative. And then in 1 week, he had to learn about punctuations. He had to learn commas, parentheses, quotation marks, paragraphs, indentation, capitalization. And he's just like, wait, I don't even know how to spell this word right here. You know, so I'm like, wow, I don't know how people are doing this. Like, it's so much, so quick. Like, they're still learning how to spell. And not every 3rd grade is on the same reading level. And that, like I said, plays back into math. The reading problems, I was like, how are you supposed to understand that? He had an assessment at the beginning. He's moved up in letters from last year. And the assessment teacher told me there were kids that need services. So you got kids that their reading is not that well, or not that great. And then you're giving them these problems to do. Like it all coincides. This sucks. And then you got parents who are home teleworking. So yeah, they may be home, but they can't sit down with the kid like I do from 8:30 to 2 to make sure all his work gets done. I'm there if he needs my help. You know, I'm sitting on the couch like I am. You know, I'll be doing my own thing, but if he needs me to reread something for him, help him with a math problem, break it down for him, I print out stuff so we can work on it after school and help him read and sound out words. And when you're reading, this is the period, this is how you say the sentence, and this is how you continue. The parents don't have time because they have to be teleworking. Like, this is the kid's supposed to be in school learning how to do that. So it's like they gotta be on a Zoom call, but then the kid is like, I'm stuck, I don't know how to do it. Then you have internet issues. There's many times the teacher can't get the presentation working. You have kids saying, I'm sorry, my internet keep going out, I'm losing power, so they're missing the classes. Some kids are not home because they don't have internet. You don't know people's financial situations. One girl said she had to go to like her friend's house or nanny house just to use the Wi-Fi. It was so sad when I saw those two little girls. I think they were sitting in Taco Bell's drive-through or something like that just to get Wi-Fi access. It's crazy. You don't know people's situation. And in the city too, I mean, we were lucky. We were able to get a Chromebook. Everybody out here got a Chromebook. But in the city, there are a lot of kids that still didn't get Chromebooks or iPads to do their work. And then, again, you don't know people's financial situations. You don't even know if they got internet access. You know, and then you have parents with special need kids. Those kids need to be in school. Parents with special needs kids need services so their kids can thrive. Especially if they have one child that's special needs and one child that's fine. So you're like, okay, I'm juggling, but this one needs more attention. This one needs more time. He has a different kind of curriculum, or she has a different kind of curriculum. They have to be present in school with someone. So I can see how this year there's going to be a lot of people that fall through the cracks. I was just told by a friend of mine, her son's school, he's hybrid, but they're not even doing live yet, and it's November. We started live the second week of September, second or third week of September, and he hasn't even started live. So I know these kids, and they're the same grade. These kids are not learning the same thing at the same time. Not this year. It's not happening. No way. The teacher's attention to kids in school and kids online is crazy. Like, you're trying to see if anybody's raising their hand on the screen, and then you got kids in the class, and then you're trying to make sure that whatever you're writing on the board, that the kids on at home can see the screen or see the book. I sit there and I'm like, whoa, this is why I never want to be a teacher. A good one, language barriers. There are so many parents that don't speak English well. They're not educated this way. Their kids were born here, but they don't have the capacity to help them with their work because there's a language barrier. So they may not understand, but their kids probably will understand way more than them. So it's like, whoa, you're stuck. I feel bad all around for everyone. Teachers, kids, parents, the kids are getting the shit end of the stick. And like I said, it's hard with my son. We argue every day. I yell every day. But I'm thankful that I'm educated. I'm in a position where God allowed me to be home with him so he doesn't fall behind, and I sit there with him and I teach him and I make sure he gets it. But it's not the case for everyone. I believe teachers should be paid way more than what they're getting paid. They should be getting athlete money because they dealing with your kids all day. It's just like us at work. We spend majority of our time at work, less of our time home with our families. That's the same with kids. Kids spend most of their time in school with another adult taking care of them. Somebody else is taking care of your kids. You just get them after school, 4 or 5. If they're a latchy kid, I was a latchy kid. I wasn't getting home till 6 o'clock. So you got in the evenings, you go home, you take a shower, you feed them, you do a little homework. Back then I didn't have to set all this damn homework. And then you have the weekends. But the kid is in class with a teacher all day. And not only your kid, 28 some other kids all day. And then they gotta go home to their own damn kids. You know, so it's a lot, and there's different personalities, you know, especially now today. A lot of these kids have like ADD and autism and just a whole array of stuff. I think teachers should be compensated because it is a lot. They're taking care of your kids, and especially the ones who are passionate about their job and they want to make it work, and their hands are tied, and every day they come in is a different story. I've also realized that even though in New York, in my district, everything seems to be okay, running smoothly, other districts still don't even got it together. In the city, Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx and stuff, everything is different this year. Like, no, everyone's not on the same page. But I remember when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, his father was like, why don't you go to school to be a teacher? I was like, no. He was like, they get summers off, all the holidays off. I was like, hold on, stop, just see, that's a problem. I was like, anybody that go to school to become a teacher for those reasons, shame on you. That should not be your reasons, because it's not about you. You are dealing with little human beings. You're bringing them up because they are spending most of their time with you. So you better be passionate. You better care about these kids, okay? I remember teachers that were assholes. I remember good teachers. I remember fun teachers. I remember teachers that were stern but wanted you to understand your work. Going to college to get a degree to be a teacher because you're going to be off summers and holidays, hell no. So I told him, I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not doing it. And I didn't even have my son at the time. I was in my early 20s. I was like, I'm not doing that. Hell no. So it takes a very special person to become a teacher. I don't have the patience. These kids are rude, especially now. Like, I'll be sitting up at the desk in the conference room in front of the board because I done called your kid an asshole. All right, because when I be sitting next to my son, and you know, we in them little sessions, I be sitting there like, did she just say to stop 15 times to y'all? Y'all don't listen? Didn't she just tell you what page to turn to about 14 times? Because I'm sitting right here, I hear her, you know, and I can hear this teacher. She's sweet, but sometimes you can hear like she keeps the soft tone. And she was like, I said for the 5th time that it's page 89, problem 4. You know, you have to pay attention. And I'm like, girl, bless your heart, because I would be like, I don't know how y'all do it, y'all educators. Ooh. Yeah, I respect educators, the ones that are passionate and true about their job. I feel that they should be getting compensated way more than what they get right now, especially this year. This is some crazy shit. I know by next June we gonna get through this. I should be going back to work next summer. I'm gonna be running out this house because not only I'll be finishing up this year with a 3rd grader, I'm gonna have a newborn. So I'll be home with a newborn the end of January and still have to finish out the year with a 3rd grader. I don't know how I'm gonna stay sane. We got 1 more month to go. Let's hope we get through it. And I feel, like I said, I feel for everyone. Working moms, stay-at-home moms, dads too. Home. I feel bad for people who lost their jobs. Oh, and people who lost their homes. They're getting evicted. Like, I've seen families getting evicted. I'm like, okay, kids in shelters, families in shelters, how they getting access to do work? it's just a lot. It's just a lot. So anyway, I finally got to do this recording. I've been trying to do this recording for the past 2 weeks, but with school, my pregnancy, I be tired. I'm just happy I got to do it now. I hope you guys enjoyed. I have some other content that I'm working on, and I'm going to find the time and I'll post. And I hope you follow, and I hope you enjoy, and I hope you tune in. I'm also going to have Mommy Sundays with me and Jason. So I'll introduce you to him, and it'll be like a little segment between me and him and show you our interactions, how our relationship has been trying. Oof. But yeah, I'm trying to alleviate some stress for the both of us, being that we're home. So I figured this will be a little fun for him and I. So everyone,